let's talk about Barcelona.
I can't talk enough about this season, man. It's been a very, very frustrating season for a Barcelona fan. I think all Barca fans are going to agree with me.
What exactly happened? Like, I don't follow La Liga, so what exactly happened in
It's,
Barcelona?
it's been wrong since the start. Like, we started off with a very bad start of getting Antoine Griezmann for about 150 million. I mean, a player who's turning about, he's going into his 30s, who's gone from his prime. I think he had a very good World Cup, I won't deny that. But to get him right after that for 150 million.
I think 107, 110. I think that's the. It's 150 million.
It's 150 million, including all the
okay, like
all
that.
the bonuses and stuff like that. But it's been not just the signings and stuff like that. I can't rant enough about the signings that they have made. The one that recently happened of Arthur, and you give away a 23-year-old for a 30-year-old, and just to settle in your books, and like when the books are closing in.
And Arthur's going to Juventus.
Arthur's going to Juventus, who's a 23-year-old, and you're getting a 30-year-old just to settle your books in. I mean, that was frustrating as I can't curse on this, but it's been the most frustrating season, not just because of the manager changes that we had, but the enthusiasm of the player. You know the style of football that Barca plays, right?
Yeah.
They have that champion mentality. You need to win every game. There's nothing that you can do apart from that. But every game has been a challenge for us. We got players in at every position. We invested so much in to get that squad depth that we always wanted. Defense was always a problem for us because we didn't have tall players and stuff like that. Barca got everything in, and it still didn't work because you don't have a proper board who has that mentality to drive the club forward. Something like a Liverpool, they had a plan, they had a vision. In 5 years we're going to be here. In a couple of years we're going to get you here. But Barca has, from the roots, they are having problem. They have to sort everything out what is going on at that club, because if you look at the squad right now, there's so many players who are above 30 going into next season or playing it. If you compare it to this season, there's so many players above 30. I think there are only 2 players who are below 25, and that is a big concerning sign. If you are a top club and your players are above 30 and they're not playing, if you go above that level of 30 years,
Yeah.
you're above your prime. Messi, who is about 34, he still drives the club.
I think it's
He
sad.
still carries the club at that level.
It's sad to see that Messi is the one till now. They're still depending on him.
Yeah.
They should have future stars ready.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I see Madrid, like I'm not a big fan of Madrid, but they won the title.
Yeah.
They won the title from Barcelona's nose. Like from your perspective, you must be like devastated to see them win.
I was, I will give this to Madrid. The one thing, their transfer activities have been exceptional. Like they have the squad depth at every position. I think they have they must be having minimum 3 options in every position. They have that young quality that they need. Rodrigo, Vinicius Junior, Luka Jovic. Maybe he was a flop, Luka Jovic, but other signings that you never knew about. They came to Madrid and they proved themselves. When you compare it to Barca, who can you pull out? Like the one name I can think of is Ansu Fati. He's a genuine talent. Okay, you get him from La Masia, but other than that, Frankie de Jong as well. He hasn't performed to that level that you must have thought that. Oh, Frankie de Jong, you're spending about 75, 80 million. He's going to produce that level.
But
of
you need to
football.
give time
Yeah,
to a particular player.
Correct. But when a player is coming off his peak season, like Frankie de Jong, he had that season with Ajax, and everyone said that he's going to replace like a Xavi or an Iniesta. Obviously, you need to give that time. You need to give that. Speaking of time, actually, I think someone who needs to be given time in the position is Setien, our current manager. He's just come in a couple of games, and there's been so much pressure on him because he's lost the league. He's been knocked out of Copa del Rey, and I think a lot of players internally also don't like him. Messi has been against his mentality and stuff like that. So I think you need to give that guy time. You need to let him prove himself in the next season maybe, and then after that maybe we'll give a chance to someone like a Xavi who's still developing himself in the managerial career.
I think Champions League is the only hope for Barcelona. I think they lost the first leg against Napoli 1-0.
Yeah, it was 1-1. Griezmann
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
Okay. But that's no. I think with Barcelona, I think with the next year, if they don't win the Champions League this year, which I don't think they will, because they're not that dominant team anymore. They were. But it's sad to see that Barcelona is losing. I'm happy because I hate Barcelona. I just hate them though. These sons of, they really win every single time, and I just hope that if they win, if they don't win, that's depending on how they play. But I think the next season is big thing for Messi in particular, for Barcelona as a club in particular. because if they keep making signings that are shit, they will just keep going down like a sinking
I think
ship.
it happens to every club who becomes dependent on that one player. Like Barca have built that mentality: if no one's going to do it, oh, Messi's going to come out.
But how
He's
many
gonna
times will he
pull-
do it? How many times?
Exactly. He's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat and he's going to, pull something off that no one. Okay, Messi can still do it, but he's not still at his prime. He's 34 right now, if I'm not wrong.
I think he's going past that
Yeah.
elite
Yeah,
player. he
even
was.
when you see him play right now, he doesn't produce football like that electric football that he used to. He doesn't score. He scores. Obviously, he's the top scorer of the league and stuff like that. But he's still not into that mentality that I have to score. He tries to get the other players into the game because Barca wants someone to replace that guy. You
Yeah.
need to replace that guy. And you need to fill in his boots. And I think someone who I can put my faith in is Ansu Fati right now because that guy is like what 16, 17 years
Yeah.
old, and he's producing like top level of football. So I have some hope that they'll produce some talents. And there's another guy in midfield. I don't know if you know Ricky Puig. He's another midfielder. He's very good as well. So there are a couple of youngsters, but again the age is a big problem. There's so many players above 30. So I think Barca need to sort that out first. Get the board, get a proper director who guides and gets you in the vision to win things in the future. If you don't have that, you get a manager. I think the current manager as well was our 4th or 5th choice.
Yeah.
So from that, like where the moment he came in, the players were not happy. You could see that, like with the style of football they were playing. Okay, they dominate the game. That's a Barca style of play. Like,
But
they
to win.
always, yeah, you just don't create and dominate the football without getting the goals, without winning trophies, and they're not having that mentality right now because of the things that are happening internally. Right, you had that signing of Arthur and Pjanic, as I mentioned. That signing was pathetic. Like as a Barca fan, I was so frustrated when that signing went through. I was like, if you're a sporting director, you would never think of it in the first place. Like, why would you give away a 23-year-old and get a 30-year-old in the first place?
So it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens at Barcelona next year.
Yeah.
Let's
Hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. We're still waiting for Lautaro Martinez. Hopefully we sign him. Fingers crossed. Let's go for it.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching the first podcast of the Kunal Call. Please leave a like, share and subscribe to the channel. And thank you to Rohit for joining me. And what the hell is that? Kylian Mbappe, man. Thanks for watching.